Well, we're already into mid to late January, and it's amazing how quickly this year is going to fly. It's going to be a year of enormous challenges, I believe. I think there's going to be a lot of volatility in the corporate markets, and that is the critical reason why executives, I believe, must have a game plan for the year ahead and to be really crystal clear about their goals and what they're trying to achieve. So I've already had a few conversations with a few of my clients, and I've asked them what are their goals for the year ahead, and I'm hearing crickets from a number of people, and the clarity is just not there. So look, I'm not going to beat up on you if you didn't do your planning in the late part of the year. There's plenty of time ahead, but you do have to spend a bit of time, maybe take a day out before you get back into the offices, before you really get cracking with the year. You've got to put a game plan in place, and I'd like you to think about your goals in a few different settings. So obviously career goals are really important to have. That helps you identify good and bad opportunities. It helps you navigate workplace opportunities. It helps you navigate external offers of employment. You've got to have that sort of overarching big picture career plan. And combined with that, you need to have a bit of a financial plan, I believe. Are you going to diversify your income levels this year? Do you have a backup strategy if you were made redundant? Are you going to try and boost your savings? Or is this the year you're going to try and get into an investment property? All those kind of things, should be on the agenda when you're looking at career and finances, keeping in mind that your career is often the main driver of your wealth strategy, and having that clarity on what you're trying to achieve, because there's no point just working for the man. You've got to try and build some assets and build some safeguards for the future. So that comes hand in hand. And then thinking about your professional development plan for the year ahead. So what training are you going to embark on? What professional development are you going to do? Don't rely on the companies these days. The training budgets get smaller and smaller every year. It's often only the select few that get access to the really incredible, MBA type programs. Think about what study you can do to keep yourself hot and fresh and in demand as a business executive. And I think this will be the year for recalibration. I think there will be a lot of executives that are simply going to have to pivot, are going to have to retrain, are going to have to build up different skills. Personally, I would be looking at artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, data, technology, digital marketing in the new paradigm of artificial intelligence. I'd be looking at board work. There's a lot of careers that are going to absolutely fly this year, and then conversely, they're going to be industries that are just going to turn on their head, and you're going to see massive job losses. We are still seeing a lot of redundancies coming through, and I'm expecting in this first quarter of the year there to be a number of redundancies that take place that didn't happen at the end of 2023. So, it's going to be a challenging market. So you're going to have your career plan, your financial plan, your wealth management plan for the future, and your professional development plan. Where are you going to channel some of those savings back into developing yourself? As a rule of thumb, we always used to try and encourage people to set aside 10% of their income for their own professional development. And if you do that year on year, you keep yourself fresh, industry compliant and so on. Also keep in mind that there is a lot of free, complimentary education available, and of course if you're a part of any form of an association, those organisations provide an enormous amount of thought leadership and education that's complimentary as part of your membership. So use that to the full extent. I'm a member of the ARI, the Australian Human Resources Industry membership group, and so there's seminars, webinars, there's so much free training that I can attend to keep across things, but you've got to have a game plan. You've got to allocate the time. You've got to schedule these things. You can't just be doing this stuff ad hoc. And then, the final thing I'd really sort of encourage you to think about is what is your strategy for this year ahead in terms of networking and thought leadership. These are critical because these enhance your personal brand. These are the things that you bank for the future, investing in the network. You have to allocate some time for this. Now, you might not be able to do a lot of physical events, but you've got to allocate some time to do some virtual networking and connections and building meaningful rapport. And probably a good way to anchor that is around a thought leadership strategy. What are you going to blog on? What are you going to share your insights on? Are you going to write an ebook this year? These are things you should be considering. So take the time out, put the plans in place. People who plan and set goals, meaningful goals for the year ahead, always achieve more than the executives that sit back and just roll with the punches. It would be a really good investment in your future and to have a successful year ahead and to be prepared for the curveballs that I think might be coming our way during the course of the year.